Are you exhausted like I am? Are you wondering what is going to happen towards the end of the year? What do you know about the 21st of December? I'm Sharron Martin from Inner Sanctum Studios, and I am a messenger and channel for Gaia. So let me tell you what I know about these aspects of things that may be occurring on the 21st of December. So first of all, it's part of my daily practice and has been for a number of years to connect in with Gaia and speak with her on pretty much a daily basis. And a couple of years ago, as I entered into the cave one morning, I saw that there was this black sphere sitting on the back of it. It's a matte black and it had kind of protruding rims that were circular, like little portals or portholes. And when I asked her about it, she said it was a multi-dimensional tool that had multi-dimensional aspects, and that I wouldn't be given information about it, and my intuition around that was for my own safety. But I watched this sphere as it behaved, and with things that it did. I called it the Sputnik. It behaved a lot like a Chinese puzzle box. I would watch it as the rims would open and arms would extract out, and there would be movement within it. And then I watched as there would be light building from as though we were seeing in through the windows as they opened up. And then over time it started to have more active behaviour. So then it started to raise itself off the ground, and then it started to spin, and then further along it actually raised itself up quite high and was spinning sort of quite quickly, and my information around that was that it was having a test run. Then further down the track it moved out of the cave and it moved into its another space in the center of the earth. It an arm extracted from it, so a metal, a pairing of metal rods with a sort of a circle on the end of it extracted out, and so the sphere sat here with this arm out, and the arm went to the outer crust of the earth, and then it birthed something that looked a lot like an egg yolk. It was very organic, and over time that moved up and down this arm and was forming. So it became bigger, and eventually it became this sphere, which was very refined. As it moved up and down, it became more energized, more expanded, and more perfected in its shape. And then what was happening was it was being pumped. So this was moving, this arm started moving up and down with the sphere, and what I know that was about was building pressure. So it was building pressure within this sphere, and then it was building pressure for this release. So that's that part of the story. Another aspect is that in the center of the cave, in the back of the cave one morning, that these crystalline double terminator quartz, male quartz crystal, I think they were hexagonal rods, were being shifted one at a time. So I was watching them being moved across the back of the cave one at a time, and when I went to see, they were being buried in a mixture of dirt and sand. And when I asked what they were, I was told that each of those rods was for each person, each human, and that they contained the adamantine codes for 2020. So they were being buried towards the end of 2019, and when I asked what that was for, it was because they needed to be protected from the sonic boom. So Gaia talks about this occasion, this shift that we're going to go through, as having both a solar flash and a sonic boom. And the sonic boom will be heard all over the earth, she said. So they were being shifted so that they were, and each one was surrounded with and then packed in so that they weren't cracked through the effect of the sonic boom. Another aspect of it is that this sphere as well, that I nicknamed it a Chinese puzzle box just because of the way it behaved. You know, bits would be extracted out and then turned and twisted, and one thing had to be undone before another thing could operate. The third aspect is that I got shown that there would be this expulsion from the earth like a giant comet, and that comet would be released from the earth with a lot of power. And in the release of that the the planet would be shifted. Another part is the sun. So I got taken to the sun and I got shown that the sun had this effect. It was as though, if you think of the sun being like a commercial grade balloon, you know, they're much sort of thicker in the skin, and got slashed with a knife is about the place where ears would be on an animal. It oozed out and moved out and on top of the firmament. So it was sitting on the top of that. And then how this all comes together is that what Gaia showed me is that this comet that comes from the earth, that it goes to the sun and it overlays or replaces our existing sun, and that provides us as humanity with greater nourishment in our new world, with greater nourishment and sustenance in our new world. So I'm shown that this comet leaves, and as it leaves it has this knocking effect and it sends the planet off on a trajectory further into the photonic belt towards the galactic center. Now when you put all of these together, so it wasn't until, so all of those other bits were shown to me, and it wasn't until this sphere in the center of the earth became more refined and more spherical and then being charged up that I made the connection. So Gaia said the window for this opened, the window for humanity to have this experience opened on the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, which was the 21st of June of 2020. And now we're heading to the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere on December the 21st. And so Gaia always speaks about change for us as a civilization, as humanity, as a planet, as this tipping point. It's all about how much we can have increased our level of consciousness in the collective. So chances are that this might be our experience on the 21st. And what I want you to know is that you will be looked after. You just need to follow your guidance about where you will be. There are many, many beings who are overseeing this, both in planet, on planet, and off planet. It's the most remarkable event. And then on top of that, what happens is we get tipped into higher frequency, a higher dimensional field and space as we're moved more into the photonic belt, and we'll be receiving this absolute avalanche of codes. So crystal codes, rainbow codes, plasmic codes, and codes that come in on gamma waves. And all of this is designed to open us up, to fill us, to transform us, to alchemize. So we've been going through this a little bit at a time, this slow process of it, but that moment is going to have a bit of an instant effect, an instant up-leveling for us. So we'll feel the build-up of this. We've, I think yesterday we had a big wave come through. We've got another couple of big waves that come through, but on the 21st it'll be massive. And so eat clean, stay well hydrated, just let any fear about it go, just trust yourself to be in the right place. Know that there's a lot of assistance for us to move through this. Know that it's going to be a hallelujah moment. It's going to be celebrated all throughout the omniverse, all throughout the multiverse, and it's going to be very exciting for us as humanity as we move through to this new place. This is the beginning of our anchoring in this fifth dimensional earth in a much more comprehensive way. So what will happen is that everyone will have more of their gifts returned. So you may wake up and find that you're more telepathic or more clairvoyant, that your third eye's wide open, that you're able to hear sounds on the airwaves that aren't in the physical world. You might find that you have this inner knowing of things, and our world will look a little different as we move more and more into it. We're going to experience a bigger spectrum of colour and a greater intensity of colour, and Gaia has spoken that we will have experiences that are much like the Aurora Borealis. We'll have that day and night for a little while. Everything gets an upgrade, all sentient beings. That includes plants, animals, and us. There's this upgrade of frequency and increase of crystalline aspects in our bodies. And I just invite you to just let any fear, any worry about it, let it go, and trust your inner guidance and be excited, because this is what many of us came here to hold space for or to experience, and it's going to be magnificent. So I wish you so much love from Gaia, who holds us so beautifully, so dearly, so deeply, so richly, and I wish you so much love from my heart, and I will see you again soon.